It is the worst possible start to the new year for Prince Andrew. This is him leaving his ski chalet in Switzerland early to head back to the UK to consult with lawyers. The lurid allegations go back more than a decade. The Duke of York has been named in court papers filed in the United States by Virginia Roberts, who was 17 then and is 30 now. They are the most serious allegations a member of the royal family has faced in years, and have prompted emphatic denials from the Prince and the Palace. Prince Andrew had spent Christmas at Sandringham with the family, and her estate in Norfolk is where the Queen will remain for the next few weeks. It's believed Andrew has phoned Sandringham to consult with his mother. The old policy here used to be never explain, never complain, but clearly those days are over. The number of denials on this story has been unprecedented. And as for the claim by Virginia Roberts that she was introduced to the Queen here by Prince Andrew, a senior advisor told me there's nothing to suggest that claim is true either. There is no record of any meeting. It is a friendship with this man which is coming back to haunt Prince Andrew. Financier Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of procuring a girl for prostitution, and this picture was taken after he came out of jail. Here, the Met Police has not received a complaint about the Duke of York, so there is nothing to investigate. In the US, he may be named in the new lawsuit, but he's not actually being sued, and that leaves him in a sort of legal limbo.
The reaction of the general public is not always easy to measure. As Mandy Rice-Davis said, he would say that, wouldn't he? And they may think that a denial may be routine. It may well be true, but it's not a complete solution to the problem. But I think he did have to put his denial clearly on the record.
They say if enough mud is thrown, some of it sticks. It may be a new year, but for Prince Andrew, his old problems just got even bigger. Simon Viger, 5 News.
It's a scandal in any shape. Prince Andrew, a member of the royal family, has been named in US legal documents linking him to an abuse of a minor.
It appears the Duke of York is paying the price for his controversial friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, the American financier, that is said to have facilitated the abuse in question. Allegations against the prince say that between 1999 and 2002, a young woman was forced into having sexual relations with him while she was still a minor. Buckingham Palace has categorically rejected the reports as untrue.
The allegations have not only shocked the royal family, but many Brits who are not convinced yet.
Absolutely shocked.
I think it's obviously pretty shocking. You don't really expect that from a member of the royal family, but obviously the facts aren't maybe out in the open yet, so we'll wait and see how it progresses.
The woman in question, who has remained anonymous, has released a statement through her lawyers saying she wouldn't be bullied into silence after Buckingham Palace released a strongly worded statement in support of the Duke of York. It also denied that Prince Andrew used his influence to lobby the US government to be lenient with Jeffrey Epstein during a 2008 police probe.
I think any member of the public, whether they're a normal person or part of the royal family, then they should just be face justice.
I think there's obviously always going to be differences. These people have access to money, power, to the best lawyers and these different things. But, you know, if there's evidence there are facts there, then it should definitely go through the proper channels.
The relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew has concerned the royal family on more than one occasion. But it seems this latest episode could cause the biggest headache of them all. Mohammed Walji, Press TV, London.
Hello there. Welcome to another edition of The Monarchy with me, Samson Sees, here on Press TV. For those of you new to this programme, we give you alternative stories about the not-so-okay UK. These are the very issues that are not being addressed on mainstream media networks. Some of these issues even get more depressing when you keep digging down the rabbit hole. Take the VIP paedophile ring, for example. Some of the top figures in the British Parliament and even Buckingham Palace have been sexually exploiting young, innocent people for years. This disturbing truth has been happening for decades. Good old UK law for you there. The police cannot even get near these sick people. It wasn't that long ago that those who claimed that there was a massive paedophile ring involving officials in the highest levels of government were written off as conspiracy theorists and kooks. That is no longer the case, at least in the UK. It turns out that this so-called conspiracy theory was true and is finally being officially investigated.
A powerful elite of at least 20 prominent establishment figures formed a VIP paedophile ring that abused children for decades. Senior politicians, military figures, and even people linked to the royal family are among the alleged abusers. Peter McKelvie, the former child protection officer who first raised the alarm about high-profile individuals engaged in child sex abuse, said that their campaign of abuse may have been going on for as long as 65 years, but there has always been the block and the cover-up and the collusion to prevent an investigation.
Over the years we've received many allegations of abuse at the highest levels of government. Past Prime Ministers, past senior members of the British Cabinet have been mentioned as abusing children. It doesn't get much worse than that. We're talking about the worst kind of crime committed by the people who are supposed to be running the country.
A teenage boy working at Buckingham Palace revealed he was groomed and sexually abused by a VIP paedophile ring there. The lad was also assaulted at the royal family's Scottish retreat Balmoral. In a heartbreaking note, the boy, then just 16, told how he was the victim of exploitation of the highest order. The disturbing account was passed directly to the then Home Secretary Leon Britton, but he ruled it was not practical to investigate. Palace officials have already been linked to the notorious brothel, the Elm Guest House in southwest London. It was first in 2008 that news about deep roots of paedophilia inside Buckingham Palace emerged. Former Buckingham Palace butler was unmasked as a sexual predator who ran a paedophile ring while serving the royal family. Bachelor Paul Kidd, 55, was leading a secret double life as a serial child abuser who molested a string of boys over a 30-year period.
Well, it seems that in Great Britain, protecting paedophile politicians is now turning to a matter of national security. Those with the sickest minds and who wish to act upon their destructive fantasies understand that they can most easily get away with their deeds if they are protected by an aura of power and ostensible respectability.
Government will establish an independent inquiry panel of experts in the law and child protection to consider whether public bodies and other non-state institutions have taken seriously their duty of care to protect children from sexual abuse.
Victims of child sexual abuse have warned Theresa May they will withdraw from the government's controversial official inquiry unless major changes are made. In an open letter, 24 signatories claimed the inquiry as it stands is not fit for purpose because of what it is being asked to examine and the proposed chairs. The signatories said they had no option but to end engagement with the inquiry until Mrs. May scrapped the current panel, replacing it on a transparent basis, declared a statutory inquiry and extended the cut-off date to 1945. They wrote to Home Secretary Theresa May's officials complaining the Home Office seems to be running the inquiry to meet others' needs rather than those of survivors.
We need three things: justice and support for victims, the truth about what happened and how the Home Office and others responded, and stronger child protection and reforms for the future.
After the release of a report into Home Office cover-ups last month, Mr. Cameron seemed to dismiss survivors' concerns, saying some who've been looking for conspiracy theories will have to look elsewhere.
I blame them as much as I do my perpetrators, and I at least want an apology for the way that I was treated, because as an adult woman, as a child I didn't know any different, but as an adult woman I now know that the way I was treated was not correct, was not right, and shouldn't have happened. And not just with me, but then continued to happen with other people.
Meanwhile, child abuse survivors want the timescale of the inquiry into VIP paedophiles pushed back to the 1950s to avoid a whitewash. Groups representing the abused also want a dedicated police unit to examine evidence uncovered during the probe to ensure no powerful culprits escape justice. However, victims' calls fell on deaf ears, and May snubbed sex abuse victims for trip to Brussels. She skipped the emotional meeting, where victims were demanding that the troubled historical abuse inquiry starts as soon as possible. She had already warned that allegations of child sex abuse by a Westminster paedophile ring represent only the tip of the iceberg.
Just a reminder, the royal family is granted absolute protection from public scrutiny in a controversial legal reform designed to draw a veil of secrecy over the affairs of the Queen, Prince Charles and Prince William. With the elite paedophile ring now being exposed in the UK, all roads are leading to the British royal family. Some claim this law was passed to keep this connection hidden, but as we now know, Prince Charles's favourite was Jimmy Savile, who is the biggest paedophile and necrophiliac in modern British history.
Why does my heart feel so bad? Why does my soul feel so bad? Why does my heart feel so bad? Why does my soul